Welcome to North Country Commerce, a business and community service of the Plattsburgh North Country Chamber of Commerce. I'm Gary Douglas, Executive Director of the Chamber, and each week we try to bring a different segment of North Country Commerce, examining something of interest to the business community, but also something of interest to everybody out there. Because as we know, what affects business affects the whole North Country. It affects employment, it affects our quality of life out there, and that's really what the Chamber is about, is trying to affect things for the good. One of the most common misperceptions by some folks about what a Chamber of Commerce is that perhaps it's something that has something to do with government. You know, they think maybe it's like an office of City Hall or of the county, or that somehow it gets all its funding from the state of New York, and that's what it operates on. And that really is entirely incorrect. A Chamber of Commerce is a membership organization. Not unlike folks belonging to their Rotary Club or belonging to other kinds of organizations, the Arts Council or whatever, where you join up as a member and you pay dues every year. And those dues go into a budget, which then lets that organization do whatever its mission is, do this and provide the services that it provides. That's what a chamber is. It's a member service organization. Business people, professionals, nonprofits, all kinds of organizations and businesses in the North Country join. They make what we refer to as an annual investment in the chamber, and that investment then goes into providing services to them. So it really is almost like a service subscription for North Country business. Without membership, there wouldn't be a chamber. It is a nonprofit corporation that is supported and made possible by its members. Having said that, we talk a great deal on this show every week about things the chamber is doing. And we tell about what we're doing to promote tourism here in the North Country, to bring more tourists here. We talk about our industrial council and how we're trying to help bring more companies here and to help companies that are here prosper and create more jobs here. We've talked about small business services and things the chamber goes out there and does, SCORE counseling, seminars, and our answer service, things that we do to help small businesses get started and to prosper and to succeed. And just on and on, our Canadian Connection program, all the things that we do are things that we do for our members and things that we do because our members join and provide the resources that allow us to do that. That's why membership's important. What we have to do, obviously, then, if we want to do more, it's just like a person in business. If they want to do more, they've got to have money to do more. They've got to get more customers. If they get more customers, they're going to have more revenue coming in. If they got more revenue coming in, they're probably going to be able to hire some more people. They're going to be able to provide even more and better services for their customers because they have a bigger and larger operation. And that's really been the goal of this chamber over the last couple of years, has been to become really a larger and even more professional organization for business here in the North Country by becoming bigger. Becoming bigger is the route to doing bigger and better things. Now, just some perspective on this. About 3 years ago, this chamber was at the point of having 819 members. We took a good look at our situation about 3 years ago with our board of directors in a strategic retreat. They go away out of town for a couple of days every year and think about long term, what should we be doing strategically to make the chamber bigger and more service oriented and better for folks in the North Country. And a very ambitious goal was set back then. There were some folks that literally thought, gee, you know, there are some problems here in the North Country economy. We really should be happy just to kind of stay as an 800-member chamber. There were even a few folks that said, maybe it's okay if you shrink a little bit. You know, it's better to be quality than to be quantity. I used to hear that. It used to drive me crazy. But we set a vision that said, no, we got to think about the chamber the way people think about their business. And who in business thinks, I'll be happier with less customers. Now, I don't want any more business. I'm happier with the business I got now. That isn't the way that our members think about their businesses, and it isn't the way that they should want the chamber to think about how it does its business. We should always want to grow, always want to be bigger, but not just bigger for its own sake, bigger so we can do more for our members. So we set what some folks thought was a very ambitious, they even thought was an impossible goal. Now, we're not going to be an 800-member chamber, we're going to be a 1,000-member chamber. And we put together some creative campaigns and got a lot of support from the staff and others, and we went out there and we hit the 1,000-member mark. And then we said, well, let's be ambitious again. Let's be an 1,100-member chamber. And last year we went out and we became an 1,100-member chamber. And now that brings us to this year. We're still not satisfied because we know there are businesses out there, organizations out there in the North Country that should be part of the chamber, that could be benefiting by being part of the chamber that aren't doing it yet. And as long as that's the case, we're not going to be satisfied. We're going to be a 1,200-member chamber, and that's what this evening's program is about. Joining me are some folks involved in this year's campaign to reach that ambitious goal. Steve Saucier from Georgia Pacific. is with us. He's going to be chairing our campaign this year, and thank you, Steve, for all of your time.
Thank you.
Jody Parks, who you've seen frequently on North Country Commerce, is our associate director here at the Chamber, and her job includes responsibility for the annual campaign from the staff side. Then we have Peter Knox from Champlain National Bank.
Ed Baker
Ed
from
Baker
Department of Labor.
From Department of Labor, excuse me. Peter was supposed to be here. Ed Baker is with us and a member of one of our teams. And then we have Tricia Hendricks, who's here from Cellular One, and she's the chair of one of our teams. And we have two teams. We're going to tell you more about that. And Steve, tell us about how this year's campaign is going to work, and what the goal is, and how it's set up.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having us here today. Membership drive for 1996. Right now we have 27 volunteers who will be going out in the community. Our campaign is kicking off on September 5th, and we will run a membership campaign, Gary, until the end of October. October 30th will be the last day of the campaign. These folks are going to go out into the community and talk to people who are not currently members of the Chamber and see if there's some interest in them becoming members of our Chamber in the North Country and taking advantage of some of the benefits that the Chamber offers to the community.
Now we formed two teams among the volunteers, and
Right.
they've each come up with their own theme.
Yep, we have two teams led by two very dynamic people. The first team is Cindy's Dream Team, and Cindy Bowden is team captain for that team. And they have taken a motto for their team called Grow for the Gold. And so their team is highly motivated to be the team who gets the most members. The other team that they'll be competing against is led by Tricia Hendricks, and it's called Tricia's Tasmanians. And their motto is twisting through the North Country. And so I think we're going to have a lot of fun on this membership drive. This is all volunteer work. They really put in a lot of time. So it's incumbent upon me to make sure that they have fun in helping the Chamber grow.
Well, we appreciate all the help. Jody, we do, talk about twisting. We kind of have a different little twist that we do with our campaigns in terms of how we do them. Now, if you went in some areas, frankly, you'd find chambers bringing in professional fundraisers to do these telemarketing campaigns. Some folks out there may have received calls on those kinds of campaigns in the past, and a big percentage of the take, frankly, goes to these fundraisers when they come into town and do these. Or some other chambers have somebody on staff who's paid on a commission basis, and they get a commission off. Well, we don't do that, do we?
No.
But we are giving a commission, but we're doing it a different way.
Yes, we are. We found that what we want is for the volunteers to go out and explain the benefits and services of the Chamber, and we believe that if people aren't a member, there are many reasons they should be a member. So by explaining it to them, they will see that membership is the thing to do. And to inspire our volunteers to get out there and talk to more people, we are offering them a 15% commission to any Chamber member, not-for-profit organization of their choice. So whatever they bring in as far as dues go, they will get 15% of that back in the form of a check that they can present to the not-for-profit member of their choice. It gives them an incentive. It also helps out our not-for-profit members, and everybody wins in the deal.
Mm-hmm. It's really kind of a nice, I think a very nice commitment by this Chamber to in the course of the campaign of making the Chamber bigger and stronger, to also reinvest back into our nonprofit sector, rather than having that money go in some other ways that wouldn't be as valuable.
Right. And like Gary mentioned, a lot of people do that, put that money back into a membership person, and we've done it for 3 years now without a membership person, and it's worked out great. And these people that are out there volunteering are members of the Chamber and have found that it's a definitely a worthwhile investment for them. So they're the ones out there selling it, and it works out.
In fact, folks may find of interest, this Chamber was recognized late in 1995 as one of the top 35 associations in all of North America, not just chambers, but all associations, for membership growth. for growing more than 40% in 2 years.
Great accomplishment.
So people are joining for some reason. And I think maybe that, just realizing how much growth there's been that quickly, I think maybe in itself should be a message to folks out there that aren't a member of the Chamber that, boy, an awful lot of my neighboring businesses are seeing something here and are joining all at once. Well, I haven't looked at it, or I haven't looked at it in a couple of years. Maybe I better get in touch with the Chamber, or maybe I better spend some time and talk to one of these volunteers when they get in touch with me. Because there's probably something there that other folks are seeing that I haven't found out about yet.
And just the fact that we've grown so much in the past 3 years, it has allowed us to offer even more programs. So with growth, there are more benefits and more services for us to keep track of.
It's a vicious circle.
We're going crazy.
You got more members, they want more, so you do more, you get more members.
Right.
But it's
so
fun.
we've really reached a point where I think we have something to offer anybody, whether it's a huge business or a single person operating their own business. There is something within our benefits and services packages that they will find of interest, and many, many things that will provide them with direct reimbursement for the dues that they do pay. So with the growth, a lot of good things have come out of that.
Absolutely.
And we plan to grow more.
I'm really going to put our two volunteers on the spot here, because this is almost going to be like a test case for them. I'm a prospect. What's your message, Ed? Why do you think it would be important for a prospective business that isn't in the Chamber to be real receptive to you when you come knock on the door and say, I'm here to invite you to join the Chamber?
Well, I volunteered personally just to find out more about the Chamber. And of course, I've heard a lot about the dynamics of the association, that it has grown so much. And I want to find out the reasons why it has grown. And by selling it, by trying to talk others into it, I'll learn a lot about it myself. Plus, the Chamber, through word of mouth, has really come a long way in the last few years. And I think there's got to be a reason for it. I'm sure a lot of other people are going to want to be a part of this. So I'm really happy just to become a part of it and to learn a lot more about it. And of course, I want to see the North Country grow, and anything that can generate this kind of excitement, I'd like to be part of it. And so that's what I'll be doing, is I'll be sharing that. And I'm in the process right now of just learning about it, and we'll be out there learning a lot more as I sell it.
You're going for the gold.
Going for the gold. That's right.
But we've got somebody else who's going to try to keep them from getting the gold.
Right.
The other team, the Tasmanians. Why do you think it's important for prospects to be receptive and to listen to the message? Why is it important for them to be part of the Chamber?
I think one of the number one reasons and one of the number one benefits that the Chamber offers to area businesses is the networking capabilities. Whether you're a small business, independently owned, or you're a large corporation in the area, you can never, like Gary was saying, you can never have enough customers. And the networking possibilities that you have through the Chamber after hours, through direct referrals, as we've talked a lot about, as being a Chamber member, there are just so many options for growth for your company by being a part of the Chamber. There's discounts that we've talked about several times on some of our programs as well that help out to lessen some of the expenses that you incur on a business level. Just any facet of your business can really benefit from the Chamber and the different services that they have to offer. Mm-hmm. But number one, I would say, would have to be the networking, prospecting and all that through area businesses. Yeah.
Now, one of the frequent response, I won't say frequent, but one potential response that maybe some folks might have upon somebody just simply first saying, geez, come and join the Chamber of Commerce. Maybe, well, geez, I'm too small, I'm just getting started. That really isn't the case, is it? Those are really the folks that should most join.
They definitely should join. About 75% of our Chamber membership is 10 employees or fewer, and about half of our membership is 5 employees or fewer. And we were talking about it with the group this morning. We don't differentiate any difference between 1 employee or 5. So we know a lot of them are probably 1 employee or 2 employees. So it's there's a large portion of our Chamber membership is the small business, and we do have big businesses as well. But there is something for everyone.
It really is a place for them to be. This
Right.
is the Small Business Alliance up here. For anybody in small business, if they aren't part of this group, they're not part of the group where small business is coming together.
Mm-hmm.
From an economical standpoint, too, the different types of services that get offered through the Chamber, and for the price that's paid in terms of membership and the access to those services, the small business services, the workshops that are put on, the seminars that are conducted through the chamber, just the resources here amongst your staff. I mean, from an economical standpoint for a small business, they really can't find that kind of service.
Mm-hmm. And it's that relatively new business in particular. Because sometimes we'll hear from them, geez, maybe next year I'm just getting started. I can't afford it right now.
Can't afford not to.
Can't afford not to. Exactly.
The other thing too is what I've noticed in this community is the chamber is very visible and it's very active. Obviously I don't come from this community by my accent, and I came,
sounds like Altona to me.
Altona, but I came from a small city, and they had a chamber of commerce, but it wasn't very visible. You didn't see a lot of the things that they were doing, and I found since I've been up here in the North Country that the chamber is very visible, very active, supporting a lot of different services, really out there in the community, helping not only small business but big business also. And I think that's different. I mean, if it was a chamber that wasn't active, I don't think I'd be a volunteer. I just see the chamber doing a lot of great stuff in our community right now. And Lord knows there's a lot of stuff going on that the chamber's kind of that layers on between the business and the community. Mm-hmm. And that really helps.
And the whole concept behind a chamber is it's a pooling, it's a partnering, where those small businesses out there, for example, are putting in a couple $100s a year. And yes, a couple $100 is a lot when you're in a small business, but you have to look at the return and realize that if all of the small businesses out there weren't in some place effectively pooling each a little bit, there wouldn't be anybody to do all the things that we're doing. And everybody's got to kind of take responsibility to help and make that annual investment so that things can be done. So there can be a SCORE service, and there can be seminars, and there can be all of the things that we try to do. A couple of other things. I know some folks may still not quite realize that there's been a change in our kind of scope of area and service. And some folks out there say, well, that's the Plattsburgh Chamber. I'm in Willsboro, or I'm in Rouse's Point, or I'm someplace. Oh, that's the Plattsburgh Chamber. But that's really not the case anymore either, is it?
No, not at all. We've become a regional chamber, and we've fully accepted that responsibility and gone out there and done as much as we can for a lot of people.
It's almost killing us, but we accepted it.
We have members out of Canada, we have members in Vermont, and we have them all over Clinton, Essex, Franklin counties, and actually a few even beyond that. But some of those people that may have an office outside of this immediate area but market to people within this area definitely get benefits. Even if they can't be here for the workshops and seminars, they would still get the referrals if they can make any of the business after hours or any of the networking opportunities. It's a way for them to come in and meet the people that they want to do business with. And it's really allowed for us to provide more services for our members, as well as provide more information to the people that are calling and requesting information. So
and most of our services are services that we'll bring to you, or you get by phone, or things like government affairs. I mean, you don't have to come to Plattsburgh because you're a member of the chamber to take advantage of those things. There are things that we do here, workshops and seminars that are open to everyone. We're also increasingly going out on the road because they're realizing our responsibility of covering a broader area. We're taking programs to Willsboro and Keysville and Rouse's Point and Moores and all these other outlying communities to actually get out. If you're out there in one of those areas, you're increasingly going to be seeing us coming into your community and bringing at least small versions, like employment law. We've had some major employment law seminars in Plattsburgh, but we also want to take that program out on the road, so we're taking it to Keysville in a couple of weeks, and we're going to offer it there. And we've had it up in Rouse's Point. So folks should take a look at that too and realize that we also will make the effort, if there is an interest, to bring programs to their community.
right.
And it's not just business programs that you offer. There's a lot of periphery things that the chamber gets involved in. You just mentioned one, government affairs, lobbying in Albany, and lobbying on a national level. around issues that involve business and the community as a whole. You're tied into the internet, and I think the communication highway, you're providing an avenue into that. Educational affairs, the Junior Achievement Program. The Junior Achievement Program wouldn't have gotten off the ground if not for the involvement of the Chamber. And I just see you expanding more into a lot of other areas that are not quote-unquote business, but really being involved on a community level. So I think that's important also.
Well, it's always good to doubt. Now you can see why we made him chairman. couldn't say it better. Couldn't say it better.
I thought it was.
That's coming from a member.
I thought it was for my good luck.
Well, that too.
Oh, okay.
Other things people may be concerned about, perhaps something somebody may feel they disagreed with the chamber sometime. Well, all the more reason to be a part of it. Our committees are open, and we do take positions on things. But it's important that somebody do that, but we try to develop that, and the best way to be involved in decisions is to be part of the chamber. It's hard to think of any reason why anybody shouldn't be. Once they hear what there is available and what a deal we think it is.
Right. Many times in the programs that we have that offer direct savings between the AT&T program and the Cellular One program and the Commerce Card program, those things provide savings back in your pocket. So you're actually getting money back in return for spending it. And the leftover amount that's not accounted for is probably the cheapest form of advertising you've ever purchased. If you think about it as an advertising expense and think about any of your networking events, or you can put an insert in the chamber newsletter, or you can do one of our co-op ad campaigns, or you can put brochures in the lobby. Only chamber members are given as referrals when people call and ask about businesses. All of those things add up to a lot in return for your business, and you're only paying that one-time membership investment each year. So it really adds up to be well worth the investment.
I know one of the questions that certainly comes up, and particularly more so as we become more regional, are really other chambers and business organizations. Well, I belong to this other association, so I shouldn't belong to yours. And that's not the case either, is it? At all.
No, it isn't.
Take advantage of anything and everything that can offer you some service and value.
Right, and a lot of times we can work well together. It might be a good idea to be a member of the small chamber in your town because they put on a carnival in the winter, or they do whatever, and that's great for that community. But because of their size, they aren't able to offer some of the things that we are able to offer. So it's good to belong to both.
Absolutely. A good example is in the Northern Tier. We have over 100 members from the Northern Tier who are also members of the Northern Tier Chamber, and we actually encourage that. Belong to both. Absolutely. The Northern Tier Chamber does good things in the community, the things that we're not going to do. We're not positioned to do those things. And there should be a local organization to do those things. We, in turn, then do the things that we're better at doing and have the size and capacity to do. The SCORE programs and the seminars and the networking and so on. The real smart business person should take advantage of both because they're both a bargain. They really are both a bargain. And more businesses in the Northern Tier do both. And we're partnering more with the Northern Tier Chamber. We're going to be doing several projects together in the coming year because it really should be a win-win. And businesses really should support their local organization, whether it's their downtown merchants organization or their Chamber of Commerce or whatever it is. If they're in a shopping center, their shopping center association. But they then also need to be part of the bigger picture.
The other thing I don't think we touched on enough either is all of these benefits and services, it's not for just the business, it's also for the employees.
Absolutely.
And as a member of the chamber, you can offer all these services and benefits to all of your employees within your organization. And I think that's wonderful.
That is, and actually that's a good thought because we want to emphasize that to our members that are watching too, because we're always reminding them, pass these things on to your employees and let them take advantage, not just whoever gets the newsletter, but make sure our business after hours and all of our programs are open to any of the members' employees that can really help the member by having them also take advantage or go to those seminars or workshops. Commerce Card is a real good example of that.
Yes, definitely. There are over 120, I think, different discounts through the Commerce Card, and we have given out over 26,000 Commerce Cards this year. So all of those people are out there using those discounts. It's a benefit to the people who are offering discounts because they get that advertising, and it's a benefit to all of the members' employees because they get to receive those discounts, and it's on everything from dinner at your favorite restaurant to an oil change. So there's a lot of variety there, and it's something that everyone can use.
And there's just so much else we could mention, but find out more. It's our health insurance programs, our discount programs on various phone services and overnight express delivery and specialized programs for not-for-profits out there, and all of our tourism. Really, if you're in the tourism sector and you aren't part of all of the exciting things that our Visitors and Convention Bureau are doing, at travel shows and promotions and bringing motor coach activity and so on in, believe me, you're missing the boat. Literally missing the boat. Just so much to find out about. If you're not a member, you're probably going to be hearing from one of our volunteers. So open your door to them and hear them out. It may be the best 15 minutes you ever spent for your business. If you just take that time and listen to them and ask some questions, you're probably going to find out there's some things that you could take advantage of that will help your business. So please be sure and do that. There's no cost to listening. There's no cost to asking the questions. And don't wait to hear from one of our volunteers, or perhaps you don't hear from them. Call us, 563-1000. We'd be happy to send you a packet or talk to you, tell you more about anything that you heard this evening that you'd like to find out more about. We're here to serve the business community of the North Country. Maybe just a few final quick words, maybe one sentence each. Why should folks be responsive to this campaign?
The Chamber has a lot to offer, and we're having a lot of fun with it. We realize what it has to offer, and we want to help you realize it more as well.
Ed?
Well, just get on board. Be part of a really dynamic organization, something that's going to do something for you. So that's about it.
Jody?
Join us.
Everybody else is. Get on the bandwagon.
Open up your doors. There's 27 folks out in the community. Listen to what they have to say. Understand the benefits that are there. I think if you take that time to listen, you'll understand what benefit is to you. So please give them some time.
So there you have it. We're out on the road. We're bringing the message out to you in your community of what the Chamber, we think, can do for your business, your organization, your community. Give us a listen. Give us a call. And we look forward to welcoming even more of you on board by October 30th. Thank you, and continue to tune in to North Country Commerce.